Ladies and gentlemen, I am James Balash, and welcome to another edition of the Balash Wrestling Podcast right here on YouTube. Now, this episode is an interview with WWE Superstar Santino Marella. I will have Santina Marella on the air in just a few seconds. Now, this is a pre-recorded interview, so what I'm saying now is just an intro cut. Again, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight on the Balash Wrestling Podcast for the first time ever is WWE Superstar Santino Marella. I will be on the phone with him, talking to him about his illustrious career from the start of his very first ever WWE match to his last WWE match that he was televised for. And then I will also get off topic and talk about his school, the Battle Arts Academy down in Ontario, Canada. For more info on this, stay tuned. The show is beginning right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Balash Wrestling Podcast. I am joined here via the phone lines with WWE Superstar Santino Marella. Welcome to the show, Santino.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I got a few questions for you this evening. Let me just pull them up quickly, and let's get the show started. All right. I want to start with your earliest memory. What match in particular caught your attention and made you say, I want to be a WWE superstar?
I guess I would say early Jimmy Superfly Snuka stuff really caught my attention. The British Bulldogs, they caught my attention.
And when did you start training at OVW?
Well, I started training in Toronto first at a small private gym called UFO, Universal Federation of Professional Wrestling. It was very private. I started training here in 2002. So then I had my first match 2003, about a year later. And then 2004, I went to Japan. And then 2005 is when I got to Louisville, but I had to go back and learn from scratch because I was, just learning different styles. So, we got signed in 2006 to developmental and then debuted 2007.
All right. Now let's get into your wrestling career. What was your first match that you did work, though?
I wrestled in... my first match ever was in Orangeville, Ontario against Rico, Montana.
Okay. Just one. Now I want to get into your WWE debut, which was you versus Umaga for the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw, your actual Monday Night Raw debut. What were your thoughts going into it when you were told that you were going to play some fan in the crowd that Mr. McMahon would pick out to face Umaga?
My feelings were pretty much what you would imagine. A guy I was nervous and freaking out and hoping I didn't screw it up and trying to remind myself to be confident because you've been training for this moment, so you are in fact prepared.
Yeah, I can remember your debut, in fact, because I watched it, and it was actually one of my most memorable moments that I love watching WWE for. You were a fan in the crowd, and the way it went down was that Bobby Lashley ended up helping you beat Umaga. Also working with Lashley, how great of the feeling was it that working with Bobby Lashley to help you win the Intercontinental title?
It was cool because I knew Bobby from OVW, so at least I was a familiar face when I got up there,
Yeah. All right. Now, okay, I'm going to talk now about your Intercontinental title reign. I think it was the second time around when you did the Honky Tonk Meter. Whose idea was it? And because it was a hilarious sketch, I remember you doing the Honky Tonk Meter, and it was just one of the funniest things I can remember. Do you know whose idea it was, and what was actually your thoughts going through with the idea?
I don't know whose idea it was originally, but I think it may have been Brian Gore's. Okay. But because, they sit down, they have an entire meeting, and at the end of the meeting, you get the results. So I don't know exactly, who put in what, but it was definitely, the writers came up with that.
All right, now you have had numerous tag team partners in your WWE career. I'm going to talk more so on Vladimir. What were your thoughts when you were paired together? Like, what was it like actually working together, you and Vladimir Kozlov?
Well, we pitched it, we got along, you know, great, and we knew each other from OVW, and we even worked together in OVW. So we were just really happy when they gave us an opportunity, and I knew that they would love it when they saw the dynamics between us.
All right, and what was your thoughts on the U.S. title reign?
Well, that one was good because it was the first time I won the Intercontinental title. I'd helped him Bobby Lashley, and the second time, Beth Phoenix was a big part of it. She won it actually. The tag team was a tag team, but the second U.S. championship was one where I won it on my own with more of an exciting match and a clear finish. So it was really significant for me, and it really kind of put an exclamation point on the success that I thought I was having. Just kind of answer some questions, like they really do see me in that role, and they have faith in me to be able to deliver. So it was probably one of the more special ones, to be honest.
All right, and now I want to bring up somebody that made a debut that you helped actually make their debut, and it's Rosa Mendez. What was it like actually working with her angle coming into the company?
Well, Rosa was another girl. I knew her from OVW, and we got along, immediately because we're both Canadian, and so we just, when you're living in a faraway place, you found Canadian was kind of comforting. So we hung out. We became pretty close friends.
All right. Now I want to talk about your academy in Canada, Battle Arts Academy. What was the inspiration for the building? Like, what was the idea behind it? Just as a thought.
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I'm 41 years old, and I knew I would wrestle forever. I wanted to create something that was going to be somewhat of a buffer zone between me and whatever my next life is going to bring. So, I mean, of course, I'd like to stay with the company as long as possible if they'd have me, and so far I'm still with the company. But, it's 5, 6, 7 years down the road, you never know, that may change. And I wanted something to have something going on to kind of, hold me over until the next opportunity came along.
And what about, because I remember you did a YouTube show for WWE, Milan Miracle, I think it was Milan Miracle. What was it like actually doing that WWE YouTube show that you did back then?
Well, the first one was Santino's Casa, and that was pretty fun. We were some of the first guys doing it at the time. And it was funny stuff. I actually enjoyed the writer, the guys we were working with in the office. And then later we did Foreign Exchange.
Yes.
Foreign Exchange was interesting because, they gave me the opportunity to come up with some stuff, but it was really the dawn of that whole big breakout YouTube sensation, when people could start having actual legitimate shows as a YouTube series. So it was pretty interesting time, and pretty cool to see it evolve right in front of your eyes.
Yes. And it was actually really, really funny. I have to admit to it because I did laugh on the majority of the episodes. But another question: where did you come up with the character Santina?
Well, they gave me the character, and I guess as it evolved, I was able to bring some elements of where I'm from. A lot of my friends are first-generation Canadians, and all their parents are born in Europe, so they always kind of have funny little expressions, or they butcher the language. So it's really a combination of a lot of different cultures, you know.
Yeah. And I gotta just ask this: if you had to choose out of your WWE career, what would be your favorite WWE match?
That's actually really harder than you'd think to answer because there's been so many cool moments. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, we'll leave it on a. It depends on different circumstances. Um,
Um, I used to, when somebody would ask me that question before, the answer I would give was always, it's yet to come. You know, my best match is yet to come. But now that I'm not able to, to wrestle anymore, so
all right. And what was it like to work with Chris Jericho when he made his 2007 return?
it was awesome. It was awesome. You know, I was actually a big fan of Chris Jericho's back in WCW. He's also, a smaller guy like myself. He's Canadian. He's really funny. So, yeah, he was actually one of my favorite guys. Just to watch. So it was really cool to work with him.
Yes. All right. Santino, just one more thing, and then we can be done with the show because my shows really aren't that long. But I just want to say one thing. Thank you for being on the show. It is an honor to have you actually be a guest on it. Hopefully I can get you on again, maybe sometime in the future. But I am really honored to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
You are actually one of my favorite WWE stars that I've seen on TV. And actually, you are one of my favorites when it comes to being funny. And actually letting your gimmicks actually flow through and actually being a comedy effect sometimes. And it was actually really funny. And I have to say, you are my favorite WWE superstar when it comes to anybody.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Now the last question I want to ask to close out the show is basically, where did the Cobra finishing move come into play? How did you come up with that?
The Cobra was pretty interesting. I was in Japan and I had a friend who just kind of showed me the Cobra, but it was kind of like he was joking around. He showed me this little, kind of like a joke or a trick that he did with his arm, and I just forgot about it. And then years later, I did it in the match, and people, they responded to it, immediately. So we kind of kept it in the arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And it's actually a cool finishing move in my opinion. I mean, then again, it's just one of those moves that I like. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a whole, the whole production and presentation, and it takes a while to do, but it's people seem to like it, so it's been pretty cool.
And I just want to let you know one of my favorite moments of yours. And one of my favorite moments, I have actually two favorite moments, and that is because one, I was at the 2008 Royal Rumble in New York City when you were in the Royal Rumble match and you were in the entire segment with Maria and Ashley. I'm not going to get on that topic, but what I just want to say is that was one of my favorite moments of yours. And then another one was in the 2012 Royal Rumble when you actually gave Alberto Del Rio the Cobra and then acted like you won, and then he ended up eliminating you. But what I just want to say is that just you being in the ring and doing your thing is actually what it's like to be a WWE superstar, I'm guessing. Because I'm actually a referee for a local company myself. But I want to say, Santino, it has been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you for being on. And like I said, hopefully one day in the future I could have you on again.
Cool, man. You know where to find me.
Yes, I do. All right. Thank you, Santino, and have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Santino Marella, WWE Superstar. And I just had him on the Balash Wrestling Podcast. Stay updated on my Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/The Balash Wrestling Podcast. And to be on there, you could also find out this episode for a YouTube link, and then future episodes info for future episodes. So again, stay updated on Facebook on my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/The Balash Wrestling Podcast for future info on future episodes. Again, that was WWE Superstar Santino Marella. Thank you, Santina, for being on the show. Good night, everyone, and hope you enjoyed the episode. Good night, everyone.